I have no idea how to start this video. Woo. Holy crap. Fuck, I hate it. Should I just... This looks serious. I'm gonna try to not make this as serious as I can. No promises that I won't cry. I'm putting this on the internet. I'm putting this on the internet. Okay. Hey guys, how you doing? Good? Great? Awesome? Glad to hear it. Um, if if it seems like I'm a little bit nervous, it's because I am. I've been wanting to make this video for a while, but I think I've been putting it off, purely for the reason that I am so nervous to make this video and put it on the internet. Whew, like really, really nervous. But I feel like this is something that I need to do, and I feel like this is a story that I need to share. Hopefully. I haven't done a video in a very, very long time, so if I seem stiff or if I seem anxious, that is why. I'm definitely out of the habit. I think it's been almost a year since I uploaded, and even longer since I filmed. So a little backstory about this video. I was born with a heart condition. You know, for those of you who know, you know. For those of you who don't know, I was born with a heart condition. I will get into more details about the condition itself later on in the video. But that heart condition has put me through a lot. It's been a journey, and a lot of people have often asked me, you know, what's it like having a heart condition, or, you know, what can or can't you do because you have a heart condition, or they just ask a lot of personal questions, and sometimes I'm okay to answer, sometimes I'm not. And so I figured the easiest way to do it would just be put everything out in this one video and say, oh, well, if you have questions, go check out my YouTube channel. I mean, obviously there's still going to be people in my life who will ask and who I will have to explain it to in further detail. You know, like significant others, friendships, things like that. You know, you get questions. And another big part of why I'm doing this video is because this heart condition has left me with multiple scars. Obviously the surgical scar that comes from heart surgery, and also this one. I don't know if you can see it. Wow, this camera's better than my old one. I will be going into how I got that later in the video, but basically I have been very self-conscious of these scars, and in turn my heart condition for a very long time. And I wanted to make a video kind of just laying it all out there and explaining a lot of things behind the condition, behind the scars themselves, and how it's affected me and my life and my mind and my body. Also, I'm getting over a bit of a sickness, so if my voice kind of cuts in and out, that's why. See? That'll happen a lot. So yeah, that's a brief intro to this video. So let's get into the nitty-gritty, shall we? So, like I said earlier, I was born with a heart condition called hypoplastic right ventricle. And for all you non-science speaking people, that basically means that the right ventricle in my heart wasn't working. It wasn't functioning properly, it wasn't pumping blood properly. So I wasn't getting enough oxygen, I wasn't getting enough blood flow. It was very dangerous, and I was born with this. So basically, They took me out of my mother's arms at 10 hours old for my first open heart surgery. And I had to remain in the hospital for about 2 weeks after my birth, just for recovery and observation. And then when I was sent home with a feeding tube. So I didn't breastfeed, I couldn't bottle feed, I was fed through a tube. And the good thing about it is that my parents say I was a very easy baby because I didn't wake up crying in the middle of the night when I was hungry. They just had an alarm and would kind of just feed me through the tube. So I guess that's a plus. I don't know. I had my second surgery when I was about a year and a half. And by that time I had the tube taken out, so I was eating normally, I was drinking normally. And then I had my third open heart surgery when I was about 3 years old. And that surgery is when this happened. So basically, I was in a medically induced coma after the surgery, recovering. And, you know, they have IVs that they put in your hands, your arms to feed you medicine or nutrients or whatever while you're in this coma. And so, unfortunately, while I was in this medically induced coma, one of the IVs went interstitial, and that basically just means that it missed the vein. And instead of the medicine that they were injecting into me going into my veins, it just went into my hand and burnt my skin from the inside out. And because I was asleep, I couldn't scream. So luckily my mom saw what was happening before it got too bad, but obviously it was pretty bad because it left me with this. I've had this scar since I was 3, and it's not gonna go away. I've had so many questions about it, and my favorite thing to do when people ask about this scar is to mess with people. I'm not kidding. One time I told someone that I was abducted by aliens, and this is where they probed me. He believed me. I didn't really know how to continue the conversation after that, but after that surgery and after this scar, I had to wear a fingerless glove, you know, repping the Michael Jackson look, for a while it healed. Luckily, the glove was removed by the time I started school. However, that didn't stop kids from doing what kids do best, and that is being nosy little shits. You know, kids would always ask me about my scars, kids would always tease me for not being able to keep up in gym class or at recess. I couldn't go play kickball, I couldn't go play on the monkey bars. There were certain things that I couldn't do. And I was also on blood thinners at the time. And so it was very dangerous for me to play contact sports. It was dangerous for me to, get hit with any sports equipment or at all, like bruising. I bruised very easily, just in general. But when I was on blood thinners, it was a lot worse. So my parents, I was a very sheltered child and I was a very protected child. But obviously kids need some sort of outlet, and because I couldn't do sports, my parents decided to put me in theater, which ultimately led to me discovering my love of the arts and theater and writing and reading and filmmaking, if that's what you can call this. And for a while, I was perfectly content with that. I didn't care about sports, I didn't like physical activity, I was an arts kid through and through. But, you gotta wonder, like, if I was put in soccer or hockey or anything like that, would I have been a different person? Probably. I might have been an athlete. Ooh, that's something weird to think about. Not an athlete. Not at all. So, for most of my younger years, I just kind of kept to myself. I would mess with people when they asked about my scars, and I don't remember a lot from that time. One thing that I do remember very vividly is because I was a sick kid, I got a wish with the Children's Wish Foundation, which is now Make-A-Wish Foundation. And so me and my entire family and my best friend and her parents got to go to Disney World for free. So that was pretty sick. That's one of my go-tos whenever I play like Two Truths and a Lie. You know, it's like, I went to Disney World for free. But then it often leads to why, and I'm like, I don't want to get into it. I want a contest or something. But now you know. Now it's on the internet. Now you know that I went to Disney World when I was 5 because I was sick. When I entered my teenage years, that sounds really weird to say because I still kind of feel like a teenager a little bit at times. But when I was entering my adolescence, I hate that, my doctors started, trying to explain to me my condition a little bit more. They were trying to make sure I understood so that if I went to a different doctor, I could explain it to them. And so doctor's visits often became like health class and science class. And they also started telling me what I couldn't do because of my heart condition. And it was a lot. I couldn't get my ears pierced because of risk of infection. I couldn't get tattoos because of risk of infection. I couldn't have caffeine. They advised me not to drink very much. Don't smoke anything. Don't play contact sports. Don't do too much physical activity. You can't eat certain things because it's bad for your blood pressure. And all of a sudden, my life became a series of restrictions that I had before, but I didn't really process. And it was limiting. All I wanted at that time was to just be normal. I didn't want to, be the kid who went to doctor's visits twice a month. I didn't want to be the kid who had to miss school to go get blood work done, or because I needed to get an echocardiogram, I wanted to be normal. That was my biggest thing in junior high and in high school, is I wanted to be normal. And then when I was 15, the doctors told me that because of my heart condition, I can't have kids. And it wasn't, because of something genetic. It wasn't because there's something wrong with, my reproductive system. It's because of my heart. And it was because of this thing that had taken away all normalcy, that the one thing that in society's eyes women are supposed to do was taken away from me. And that is a hard thing to hear at 15. I wasn't thinking about having kids then. I wasn't thinking about having a family. I wasn't thinking about any of that. Most kids get the sex talk when they're 15, and it often goes along the lines of don't have sex because you don't want to get pregnant when you're a teenager. Mine went, don't get pregnant because it could kill you. Basically, they told me that my heart wasn't strong enough to carry a baby full term, or possibly to even survive labor. And that's a shocking thing to hear. So very quickly, I associated sex with potential death. And it became a much scarier thing than it is for most young girls. Like, the education system and society itself instills fear in women from a very young age about sex and about that kind of thing. But for me, it was heightened. And you know, when I got my first boyfriend in high school, I didn't want to, and I was so scared that he would leave me because I didn't want to. But I told him it was because of my heart condition. And I thought, oh, he can't blame me for that. That's not my fault. So he wouldn't leave me. And he did. So, the first person I trusted like that, it put a bad taste in my mouth. And then when I entered college, I got into my first adult relationship. And in adult relationships, you have those conversations. You have conversations about marriage and kids and a future. And I never had to deal with that before. I'd come to the conclusion that I couldn't have kids. But I didn't think of what that meant for whoever I ended up with. My first adult relationship, I told him I couldn't have kids because of my heart condition. And he said it was a deal breaker. And the same thing happened in my next relationship. So, my heart condition in my brain became associated with I'm not good enough. And it became associated with something that I needed to hide. Something that I don't want to talk about. Something that I didn't want to have to explain to somebody else. Something that I didn't want to burden somebody else with. So I started wearing high collar shirts. I started lying about this. I started avoiding all questions and all comments about my heart condition, about my scars. The people who already knew. That wasn't going to change. But every time I would start somewhere new, a new job, a new school, anything, I would hide it for as long as possible. Because I didn't want to be judged solely based on that, and I didn't just want to be the girl with the heart condition. And a lot of people, when they find out, are really cool about it. But there's still those people who treat you differently when they find out. Oh, you don't look like a sick kid. Oh, what does that mean for your sex life? Oh, so you can't do blank? So you're fragile. So you can be broken easily. You're a porcelain doll that needs to be protected. In February of 2020, I was having difficulty breathing. I I was having chest pains, more severe than usual. Chest pains were normal for me. They still are. It's just something I have to live with. But they were pretty bad around that time. I was lightheaded. I got headaches. I was dizzy. I was weak. Going up a single flight of stairs was a chore. So I went to the doctor. And on February 19th, 2019, they told me that I would need my 4th open heart surgery. And that was really scary. You know, I was so young when I had the others. I didn't remember anything. I didn't know what going into surgery like this was like. I never had any other surgeries. I didn't know anything. And then when they tell you the risks and they say like, oh, you might not wake up. It's terrifying. Apparently what had happened was there was a hole in my one valve that I had remaining. And it was leaking blood into my lungs. And it was causing the difficulty breathing, the chest pains. And my heart was pumping too fast. And they said that it needed to be fixed right away. They said they were going to try and schedule the surgery for about a month or two later. And that's kind of when it hit me that this was urgent. You know, oh, this wasn't good. Surgeries do not get scheduled that quickly unless it's necessary, especially in this healthcare system. So I was like, oh, if I don't get this surgery, I could die. And then I started looking back on all of my lifestyle choices over the last year. And I really hadn't been taking care of my body. You know, I hadn't been. I wasn't exercising. I was drinking caffeine, which I wasn't supposed to do, and on a pretty regular basis. I wasn't treating my health very well. I was just in a very unhealthy place, and I was dealing with the consequences. And then in March 2020, COVID hit, and my life-saving surgery gets postponed, and postponed again, and again. So on one hand, I was thinking, oh, it can't be that bad. You know, it can't be that bad if... It can't be that bad if they keep postponing it, right? But then you'd also hear in the news stories about people who have died waiting for surgeries during COVID. Because they just can't get people into the hospitals. So my brain was kind of in two places at once. There was the optimistic side of, I'm gonna be fine. This is just a hiccup. And then there was the pessimistic side of, I'm not gonna make it. Eventually my surgery got scheduled for November 2nd, nearly 9 months after they originally told me I needed the surgery. And I remember going into it with a brave face, but inside I was terrified. they make you sign all these papers about, like, if you don't wake up, this is what happens. If you're incapable of making decisions, this is your proxy. If you're, like, they make you sign all this paperwork as just a precaution, but when you're the person going under the knife, that's not what it feels like. I didn't think I'd cry. Shit. Obviously the surgery went well. I'm still here. I didn't die. And they actually said that while they were in there, they found another problem that had occurred, and they fixed that up too. I don't remember the exact details of what it was, but my parents and I joked that I got a 2-for-1 deal. Morbid, but true. So the surgery went well. The surgery went great. No complications. In fact, it went better than expected, which was really nice. Recovery was kind of the worst part. I couldn't sit up by myself. I had to have people help me with everything. I was completely dependent on the nurses and my parents. I couldn't shower by myself. And you don't know an awkward situation until you have to have your dad help you in the shower. We don't speak of it. I was in a real bad place during recovery. They told me that, I'd have mood swings and that I could suffer from depression during recovery. And I did. I did. I was not in a good place mentally during recovery. Or physically. Just in general. I was in a lot of pain, on a lot of morphine. And I ended up actually losing 10 pounds during recovery. Just from doing nothing. Like, it wasn't a healthy weight loss. It was she lost 10 pounds kind of weight loss. But yeah, I felt very helpless during recovery. I felt... Sometimes I'll get memories or flashbacks of what it was like lying in that bed, not being able to get up and go to the bathroom by myself. And it sucks. And like, I never want to be in that position. And they said hopefully that I wouldn't need another surgery, but they couldn't make any promises. So maybe in another 10 years, 8 years, which I guess would now be 6 to 8 years, I would need another surgery, but we don't know. So, after the surgery, I went back to my doctor for a checkup, and she said that I recovered very quickly. I was doing very well. I mean, I was flying across the country like a month and a half after my surgery. I was doing pretty well. I did have like a specific bra that would clasp in the front, like a sports bra that clasped in the front, that I had to wear 24/7. So washing it was nasty. It got pretty nasty. But yeah, she said that it went really, really well and that I was in better condition than I was before the surgery. And so I asked her, all of these restrictions that my doctors have told me about before, are they still there? And she said no, to a certain degree. So I asked her, I was like, can I get my ears pierced? She said yes. So I got my ears pierced on my 21st birthday. Can I get a tattoo? Yes. So I got a tattoo for my 21st birthday, and another one, and another one after that. So I started doing all these things that I couldn't do before. And I finally felt normal. I started exercising which wasn't something I really could do before. I started focusing on my health and my fitness and my mental space. But the one restriction that was still in place was the pregnancy thing. I still can't have kids. And I'm okay with it. It took me a lot of therapy, but I'm okay with it. And I realized that I don't mind not being able to have kids because I'm in a place right now where I don't want kids. I don't. And like, I know that society has harped on women and basically groomed us into thinking that the only outcome for us is to be mothers. But that's not true. And I don't want to be. That's okay. But yeah, that's okay. I'm okay with it. I am in such a good place right now. I still have those up and downs with my mood swings. I still have up and downs with my health. Like, obviously coming off the holiday season, I'm not the healthiest I've ever been, but I'm still not at the lowest I've ever been, which is insane. Like, I bought a pair of jeans in August that are too big for me now, even after putting on a bunch of Christmas weight. So that's insane. That's crazy. I'm still having heart problems. I'm still having chest pains. I'm still having, like, some difficulty breathing at times. I still can't play contact sports. And I don't want to, so that's fine. I'm okay with that. My heart condition's never gonna go away. I'm always gonna have it, and it's always gonna be there. And so will my scars. And that's okay. I am okay with that. So I think my main reason for doing this video and for, you know, just changing direction with my YouTube channel, which I'll talk a bit about in a second, is I want to get to a place where I am comfortable with my body enough to not feel the need to hide it. And that's not just about weight or muscle or fitness or tone or whatever. That's about my scars. I want to get to a place where I can comfortably wear a low-collared shirt or I can comfortably wear a long sleeve shirt without doing this all the time. I want to get to a place where I can wear a bikini in the summer and not feel like everyone is staring at my chest for the wrong reasons. And I think that this is the first step. And in order to help me with that, I did a little photo shoot. If you follow me on Instagram, if you found this video through Instagram, then you've probably already seen some of the photos. And I am so happy with how they turned out. I am so happy I did this photo shoot. I've been trying to do it for a while and it just kept getting pushed back, messed up. But I'm so glad I finally got to do it. And I want to say a huge, huge thanks to my friend Daisy who took the pictures and who agreed to do this for me and with me. She has known me since I was 5 years old, so she's been there for most of the journey. And it just means so much that she was able to do this for me. So Daisy, if you're watching, thank you very, very much for everything. And that leads me to the new direction that I'm taking this channel in. So if you've previously watched my channel, you would have known that I focused a lot on film and TV shows and fashion. I would make movie commentaries, movie reviews, and I still love that kind of content. I still love making those videos, so I might make them on a different channel, but for this channel, for 2023, I am focusing my content more on fitness and health, physically and mindfully. Is that a word? Probably not in this context. And the reason I'm doing that is two reasons. One, I have started watching a lot of fitness YouTubers and I've gotten into a lot of exercises, and a lot of my friends are into fitness, and I just love that world, the non-toxic part of that world. Let's be clear, because there's a lot of toxicity in the fitness world. And I want to do it to be healthier, not to gain weight, not to lose weight, gain muscle, whatever. I want to do it to be a healthier version of me. And also, I'm gearing my content toward that because I feel like if I make content out of my fitness journey, it'll hold me accountable. Or it'll force me to hold myself accountable. And I need that. I fall off my routine so easily. I'm gonna start going to the gym in 2023, which is a big deal because I don't like the gym. I'm very self-conscious at the gym. I have gym anxiety. So we'll see how that goes. I might recruit some of my friends to be like, hey, can we be gym buddies? Like, hey, can I go with you? So yeah, if you want to follow me on my fitness journey, it'll be here on this YouTube channel. I will be talking about my heart condition a lot more. I will be making videos dedicated to it, so if you want to know more about my heart condition, watch out for those videos. But yeah, I'll be focusing on fitness and dieting and mental health and all that encompasses that. So if you're interested in that content, subscribe. If not, that's totally fine. If you came to my channel for the film content and you don't want to be here anymore, that's understandable. I might still make some film content though. I really like making that content. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Another big thing that I wanted to say before the end of this video is I want to be a lot more open on this channel, a lot more vulnerable on this channel, hence this video. I want to just, be completely honest about my journey and completely honest about my health, because I find that not a lot of people are on the internet. Not a lot of people are honest on the internet. Everyone has filters and clickbait and is lying about their content a lot of the time, and their mental state. Oh my god, people lie about their mental state so much, and I'm not hating on that. I'm just saying I find it refreshing when other YouTubers are very open and honest about their lives and their emotions. So I want to be that for myself and for you guys. So yeah, this is a new era for this channel of openness and vulnerability and health and just all around good shit. So yeah, I guess that's it. That's my heart condition journey, the story of my 4 open heart surgeries, learning to accept my body, which I know a lot of people struggle with. A lot of people struggle with that for different reasons. And I'm hoping that, even if I can change one person's opinion on themselves, whether it's scarring or their body shape or something. If I can change one person's opinion about themselves, then my job is done. That's another reason I want to make this YouTube channel. Or, I already have this YouTube channel, but I guess another reason I want to shift my content towards more positive stuff is if I can help one person, or if I can make one person's day brighter, that's all I care about, really. So, yeah, that's it. I guess. If you like this video, make sure to like it. If you want to see more of me, that'd be pretty cool if you did. And my fitness journey, and my health journey, and my mental health journey, and all my journeys. Hit subscribe. I'm not promising any upload schedule at all because I'm a full-time student and I have a part-time job, which I love and put my all into. So I am not promising an upload schedule, at least for the next 4 months. So from January till April, I'm not promising an upload schedule. I will upload when possible, which is another reason to subscribe and hit the bell so you know when I do post. But come summer, no, still not promising anything. I've made promises about my content in the past, and I have not upheld those promises. So, we're not making any promises. I will upload when I can upload. That's a promise. And that's what I can stick to. But yeah, this is me. This is my YouTube channel. And thank you for watching. I love you guys. See you in the next one.